300 years after the events of Mistborn trilogy, Scadrial is now on the verge of modernity. With railroads to supplement the canals, electrical lighting in the streets and the homes of the wealthy, and the first steel-framed skyscrapers racing for the clouds. Kelsier, Vin, Elend, Sazed, Spook, and the rest are now part of history, or religion. Yet, even as science and technology are reaching new heights, the old magics of allomancy and feruchemy continue to play a role in this reborn world. Out in the frontier lands known as the Roughs, there are crucial tools for the brave men and women attempting to establish order and justice. One such is Laxilium Ladrian, a rare twin-born who can push on metals with his allomancy and use feruchemy to become lighter or heavier at will. After 20 years in the Roughs, Wax has been forced by family tragedy to return to the metropolis of Elendel. Now he must reluctantly put away his guns and assume the duties and dignity incumbent upon the head of a noble house, or so he thinks, until he learns the hard way that the mansions and elegant tree-lined streets of the city can be even more dangerous than the dusty plains of the Roughs. Welcome to XP Share. This is a review on Alloy of Law. This is my lead up to the Era 2 books of Mistborn for Book 4 coming up later this year, or first of 2022. Unlike Era 1, where we had feruchemists, allomancers, and Mistborn kind of separate to each other, Era 2 contains twinborns as detailed in the intro. It's a new combination of certain feruchemical and allomantic abilities coming to some cool new combinations in the world. Wax, our main protagonist, is known as a crasher. He's a steel pusher and a feruchemical skimmer who can store weight to be used later in his bracers. A glimpse of Wax's past and the death of his love Lessie continues to haunt him as he tries to re-enter society. Taking one last mist walk before locking his Starians and his mist cloak away to become a house lord. To further upset Wax's new life balance, a friend from his past appears, Wayne. Wayne is a tad unpredictable, and mid-conversation with Wax as his guests enter the room, he's quick to disguise himself via a new power to Era 2, a speed bubble. Based on the conversations, we understand Steris has the entire engagement planned out to the letter, literally, with an exhaustive contract. However, Wax finds himself more intrigued by the details of the Vanisher heists provided by Lord Herms. The events taking place after this and throughout the remainder of the book deal with Wax trying to locate Steris, who was taken due to her potential of being an allomancer by the Vanishers. We get to spend quite a bit of time fleshing out Wayne, how comical he is at a surface level, but there is a deeper level to him. He understands how to get information with a confidence in everything he does to achieve his goals and tasks. You can just tell this character has a deep history and more to learn throughout the remaining of the series. Sanderson continues to do an amazing job at fleshing out all of his characters within his novels, and not simply the main protagonists or love interests. This is another series more in the vein of Stormlight, where you get to feel like everyone is a main character. We learn Marasi is studying law and has extensively studied the histories of both Wax and Wayne, and is in awe of her experience to participate in solving the mystery of her cousin's kidnapping with them. She also isn't dead weight. This is shown early on with her skill with a rifle, and later as she helps solve puzzles and theorize, and even into the final climax. Throughout this book, Waxilium is coping with the past and how to proceed with his future. The loss of his love, his impending marriage, leaving his crew in the Roughs to return to a house he abandoned to help the workers in need. There's a duality in both his abilities as being a twin-born, as well as the duality of his life, living in the Roughs and his responsibility to his life in Elendale. Miles, the antagonist of this book, is having a similar conflict, and the two lawmakers battle both physically with each other, moral superiority, and how they are dealing with this coping duality, like two metals clashing together to form an alloy. This is a really fun book to kick off the Era 2 series, and I love the evolution of powers and how people are coping with the aftermath of the Era 1 religions, their stories, how they're twisted in this era into something we saw in Era 1 as well, which ironically was something Sazed was trying to fix, and over the last few hundred years, obviously still has its issues. There's still tons of hints and little nudges to Era 1 throughout the series, from small things like Waxillium's earring to the end of the book revealing a much beloved character. There are some cool things in here, including news articles, and I might compile into a lore video later. I honestly love this book. It's a super quick and accessible read, could be a great intro point if you don't mind some Era 1 spoilers. I can't wait to dive into Shadows of Self again, which will come after my review of From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. A couple of other reviews coming out. Took a dive into the manga world again, got some One Piece going out, planning on taking a look at Jujutsu Kaisen as well, something a bit more current. Also should be having the review for Book 4 of Wheel of Time coming out over the next few weeks, as well as Shadows of Self from the Mistborn Era 2 series. That being said, thanks again for watching. This is XP Share. Like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Tell me what your favorite ongoing series is. I'd love to have your opinions on these videos and recommendations moving forward. Have a good one.